Hello and welcome back everyone to Master Game Design, Unreal Engine 5 Stylized Environment and Third-Person Blueprint course. In the last lesson we left ourselves off by making use out of a levels tab to actually break up this entire level into smaller sub-levels that now allows us to quickly hide the gray box itself. Now to move on, we're going to continue on and actually make use out of the Egyptian harbor pack. We're going to go into it and it's going to be broken up into 4 folders. The reason being that it's broken up into 4 folders is because by default Unreal Engine market is set with strict type of guidelines, one of which is going to be that it needs to be broken up into consistent type of folders. And even if you, for example, look at the default third person, you can see that it's set into blueprint, input, maps, and yeah, all of the market store items will basically be stored up in this kind of sections, so there's going to be some consistency in regards to that. And yeah, if you're buying yourself another mesh pack or just another particle effects or something like that, you're going to get yourself probably a preview map. I recommend you going into them first and seeing how they look like. So by just going into them like so, we're actually going to save everything out just like that. I'm just going to wait it out a little bit. It's going to open ourselves up with a new level, the preview level. So yeah, whenever I go into a new modular mesh kit or something of that sort, I usually like to go into the preview map itself and just seeing how it looks like, what kind of setup we have, how it's broken up. So for example, we have like harbor part, we have some harbor just like windows and doors and whatnot, and then we have like some arches, some you know, supports and stuff like that, boats as well. So we have plenty of things to work with in this pack. And yeah, we're just going to see how this goes. And we also have in the back, there you go, some example pieces, how they're set up and whatnot. So that's quite nice. We just need to make sure we make use out of them. So for us to make use out of them, one way, instead of just like going to the meshes and manually dragging each part individually into the scene, what a person like to also do is just grab all of the items from this scene and basically dropping it into the other level that we're creating. So we could visualize some of the parts, we could like maybe make use out of the already existing ones as well, and yeah, we can just work our way from there. So for us to do that, we're going to basically grab everything from the folders. I'm just going to check everything is set up, and I'm thinking what the best way there is for us to do that in this particular case. Yeah, the best way for us to grab everything would probably be if we were to just select it all, and there is a bit of an issue where post-processing is actually right in the middle. We don't want this to happen, so just make sure to close this down, and it should not select it in the middle like so. So everything that gets selected is only going to be from the open folders. So that's one way of doing it. The other way would be to either make use out of the naming convention. As you noticed, the naming always starts with SM. That's another reason why there is some strictness with the marketplace within Unreal Engine. SM stands for static mesh. And if we were to go to materials, for example, you can see it says M underscore, so that's material, MI for material instance. And basically everything has its word type of grouping in that regard. So I could, for example, do SM underscore, and now within Outliner itself, if we were to search for that, everything that's static mesh is going to be given for us. But if we were to make a selection like that, we're going to, in this case, not select the text itself. And I do personally want to select the text. So going back to this other alternative way is I'm just going to make sure that every folder is opened up except for the post-processing. And it should be, yeah, it looks quite all right. I think that's quite good actually. Going to make sure everything looks good. Okay, so we're going to select basically the bottom one and the top one, and everything is going to be selected. I'm going to click F just to make sure that it's only these parts that are selected. And we're going to try to move it upwards. I'm going to click Ctrl Z, and yeah, it's only these objects that are selected, which is exactly what we want. Now we're going to go ahead and just copy everything and put it back onto our level. So the way we're going to do it is, it's actually quite simple. We just need to click Control C to copy our own setup, like so. So with this entire selection we copied, we're now going to go back onto our harbor map, like so. We don't really need to save this. So I'm just going to click Don't Save. And now I'm going to, within this pack, I'm going to go ahead and click Control V. And it's going to, level is locked. Oh, okay. So what's happening right now is because we locked the main level, it's going to give us this type of result. We can click OK. And it's actually good for us because we don't want any objects within a persistent level. We just want the main terrain, the skybox and whatnot, but nothing else. We're going to create ourselves a new level for that. We're going to go to level, create new, empty level, like so. And we're going to this time call harbor items, like so. Or yeah, I think harbor items is okay. We can click save, and there you go. We're going to get ourselves a new level. So now with this selected, as you can see, it's set blue, and on the bottom right hand corner it says level harbor items. So that's exactly what we want. And make sure not to just double click on the, actually it doesn't do that now, so that's quite nice. Usually if we were to it still says select the gray box, but sometimes it changes the level to gray box as well. So just make sure to, again, have the harbor items selected as a level. Then we can go ahead and click Control V. We still had that selection on, and it should not doing that. So I'm just wondering what's happening. Seems like only there is a bit of an issue with the paste. So I'm just going to go ahead and actually I think I'll need to go back to the level. Yeah, I think so. The reason being is it probably pasted the first time when it gave me an error, and then it caused me this. So that's okay. It's an easy fix. Let me just go ahead and go back onto the harbor. I'm going to go ahead and save this out. Go to the selection, and the selection is still going to be the same. Let me just go ahead real quick and go to the very bottom. I'm just going to check real quick if, yep, there you go. The post processing was still open. So I'm just going to close it down. Select everything like so. Hit Control C. Go back onto my harbor map. There you go. Now hit Control V. And again, I made the same mistake. So 1 second. Went back, copied it, and now I'm just going to not make the same mistake again and make sure that I'm in harbor items. Then I'm going to go ahead and click Control V, and there we go. We got ourselves this setup. Although this time it seems like it copied even the post-processing, which is actually okay. I'm just going to drag it out to the side like so. So I'm just wondering why post-processing was also, for some reason it got copied. So I'm just going to go ahead and select all of its items, delete it, and just delete this entire folder like so. All right, so we got ourselves all of these items very nicely, just like that. I'm going to go actually to the top down view. Going to select one of the items. Going to click F over here, zoom all the way out, and the reason being is that we probably want to change the rotation a little bit. This is facing this way. Our harbor is facing this way, so ideally, I want to make sure it's facing the same kind of way. So I'm just going to go ahead and select this entire section like so. And then just rotate this 90 degrees just like that. And we're going to keep it outside of our playing field, playing box outside of this section.